In this video, we're going to review the Onebot T6F folding fat tire e-bike. We're going to unbox, assemble, go over the controls, test ride, and review the e-bike. The T6F has a 350 watt rear hub motor with a max speed of 15.5 miles per hour, thumb throttle with 3 levels of pedal assist, 48 volt, 10.5 amp hour battery with a range of up to 45 miles, 6-speed Shimano shifter, front and rear disc brakes, front fork absorber, 20-inch by 4-inch tires, headlight, and weighs 74 pounds. Additional specs can be found in the description section below. This is the box that it came in. It's fairly large. It's about 3 feet high, 1.5 feet deep, and 3.5 feet long. Inside this box is another box. This was everything inside the box. We have the bike itself, which I'll unpackage shortly. There's a box with the charger and the instruction manual. This is the instruction manual. If you're interested, you can pause at any time. Looking at the instructions, the bike seems 95% assembled. We just need to fold the frame, fold the handlebar, put the handlebar on, and then adjust the seat. So let's do that. Right now, I'm going to unfold it. There's a kickstand on the rear left side, so I'm going to fold that down so the rear can rest in place. Looking over here, we have a latch and we have the battery in here. That seems to be locked. I'll show you how to take the battery out in a second. But it looks like we can just fold this into place. And once that's in place, you can pull this lever and it'll lock in. And then you can twist this safety latch so that you can't pull this out accidentally. To loosen it, you would pull this up, pull this outward, and then fold the frame. Let's install the handlebar. Making sure that the headlight is facing forward, we're going to pull this up, and this seems to latch the same way as the frame. So you pull this down and then this locks into place. And in order to loosen it, there's this lever back here that you need to pull upwards to push this out, and this can go down. Looks like there's adjustment settings right here. If you had a wrench, you could tighten this. There's this lever up here. We'll loosen this bolt on the bottom and make sure that you keep everything in order. There's the bolt with the washer, then this curved washer and the lever. We'll set that aside. And then this piece, the top piece, doesn't actually flip upwards. You need to slide it to the side. We'll take our handlebar, making sure that brake levers are in the front. We're gonna put this piece back in. Slide our handlebar so that it's centered. Take our bolt, this curved washer piece, and then feed this back into the lever. I made it too tight, so I can't actually close it right now. I need to back it up a little. Now I made it too loose where this can move around, so just keep playing around with it until this holds in place. So that's pretty tight. And again, you can always sit down on it and figure out what's most comfortable for you. Looking at the rear seat, it seems a little loose. You can pull this lever, turn this around, and adjust it to whatever's most comfortable for you. Typically, you want to raise this so that when you pedal, your leg is fully extended or almost fully extended when one of the pedals is at the downstroke. Yeah, this is too loose. You can turn the knob on the left clockwise, and then you just play around with it until this is tight. So it's still loose. I'm going to turn it a few times. If it's too tight, you can back it out. So this seems good for me. These are the pedals. You just pull them outwards and they'll lock in place. to collapse them, push it inwards, and fold downwards. Let's take a look at the battery. We'll pull this counterclockwise, pull this lever, and then open the frame. So this is at least 90 degrees. You can see that it's currently locked. Put the key in, turn it counterclockwise, and then this unlocks. There's a handle right here. You can pull outwards. You'll notice that the key is preventing this from sliding out, so you can pull the key out and then pull the battery out. Here's the battery if you're interested. This is the contacts and the model number, in case you need to get a replacement, is right here. This is the ignition. We have the key inside, and this is unlocked. If we turn it clockwise, it locks it, and then if we turn it clockwise again, it turns the battery on. This is on, this is off, and then to unlock it, you push down and turn it counterclockwise. For the unlock and off modes, you can take the key out, but if the battery is on, you cannot take the key out. On this side, this is where the charging port is, so you can actually take the battery out and charge it without lugging the entire bike. Let me put it back in. Let's take a look at the controls on the handlebar. We have the front brake lever, we have a bell, we have the controller. There's two keys. This is the handlebar adjustment angle. There's a 6-speed shifter. There's the rear brake lever. Over here we have a horn that you can't really see, and then we have the twist throttle. This is the controller. If I press and hold the power button, it turns on, and you have to make sure that the key is in the on position. So this is the battery level, the current speed, the pedal assist level. Then the bottom shows different information. Currently it's the trip in miles. If I press the power button, it goes to odometer. If I press it again, it goes to time, and then it goes back to trip. So if I press and hold the plus button, the headlight turns on. If I press and hold it again, it turns it off. Sometimes if you press and hold the minus button, it provides a pedestrian walk mode. This one does not do anything. The only thing the minus button does is change the pedal assist level, so I brought it down to 0. It goes up to 3, and then you can bring it back down to 0. Let me just show you the max speeds in every pedal assist level by using the throttle, the twist throttle. I have the rear wheel off the ground. So in pedal assist 0, I can still use the twist throttle. It provides 3.7 miles of speed. If I go to pedal assist 1, it provides 8.4, 2, 11.2, and 3, 13.8 miles per hour. I can also change the programming settings. If I press and hold the plus and minus button, it brings me to this P0. And if I press power, it brings me to P1. I guess there's no P0. This is R, and then it says 1 mile. If I press down, it changes it to kilometers. If I press down, nothing happens. If I press up, it switches from kilometers and miles. So I'm going to keep it in miles. If I press power again, it goes to P2. It says R-20.0. I believe this is the tire size. I'm going to leave it as is. For P3, it says R1-2. I can change it to 1, 2, and 3. I'm going to leave it at 1.2 or 1-2. It says 2-5. I'm going to leave it at 2-5. 3-8. I'm going to leave it at 3-8. And then 4, it says R-0. You can change it to 0 or 1. I'm going to leave it at 0. And then P5, R-48. I think this is the voltage of either the controller or the battery. I'm going to leave it at 48. So if I press that again, it brings me back to the main menu. And then if I press and hold the power button, it turns it off. I'm going to test the acceleration and max speed in each pedal assist level for pedaling only and then throttle only. Right now I'm at pedal assist 0 and I'm just going to pedal around. And there is no pedal assist currently, which is expected. And I noticed a little bit of resistance from the rear hub, maybe 5 to 10%, but it's not that bad. If your battery ever ran out, you can pedal like a normal bike and it won't be too hard. Let's go to pedal assist 1. The motor kicked in and it's topping out at 8.4 miles per hour. Let's come to a stop. Pedal assist 2. Motor kicked in and it's topping out at 11.1 miles per hour. Pedal assist 3. The motor kicked in and it's topping out at 13.8 miles per hour. And there might be a limitation to the actual display. It might actually be going faster than what it's shown. Right now we're going to test the throttle only, pedal assist 0. And with the throttle, I'm going downhill, 3.7 miles per hour. Coming to a stop. It would be good to use the pedal assist 0 and throttle if you're walking the bike on the sidewalk. Going to pedal assist 1. Topping out at 8.3 miles per hour. Let's come to a stop. Pedal assist 2. .1 miles per hour. And let's go to pedal assist 3. .4 miles per hour. Right now I'm going to test the brakes. I'm going to hit the max speed of 13.7 miles per hour and just slam on the brakes behind a certain reference point and just see how short it takes to stop. So behind this truck, and we're about, our front tire stopped at the front tire of that truck. That's around 15 feet. Let's try behind this Prius. And it stopped right at the front bumper. And it's around the same distance. These brake pads have not been broken in, so the stopping distance would decrease. And then as you can see, there's a lot of play in the brake levers. It's not even grabbing the disc yet until around here, so you can always put more tension in the line so it brakes sooner. And then the same with the right side, it's not really grabbing until around here. You can also put some more tension in there, making sure it doesn't rub. Let's try behind this truck. And I would say it improved a little bit, just a bit, a lot sooner. You can keep playing with the brakes where it doesn't rub when you're riding, and then it bites right away. Right now I'm going to test the suspension. It doesn't look like there's any adjustments for the shocks, and it just feels like there are springs inside. There's no oil, and this is a semi-bumpy path. I'm just going to go, and it seems pretty comfortable, especially with the fat tires. It helps a lot too. I'm just going to bounce on the front. It's able to take this no problem. Let's go back down. And it's pretty comfortable. The rear does not have any suspension, in case you're wondering. Some bigger bumps right here that it's able to take easily. Right now I'm going to bike around and give you my thoughts. Overall, what I like most about this e-bike is that it came 95% assembled. The only thing I needed to do was install this front handlebar and also install the seat, and I also needed to fold the frame. I think they did adjustments in the shop because the rear discs were not rubbing. I noticed that they didn't bite on as quickly as I wanted to, but it's just some adjustments you can do over here to increase the tension of the lines so they bite quicker. And then I noticed that the rear derailleur worked for the most part, except when I went to the first number here, that's when the chain is at the highest, it did fall off in the back. It's just something I need to adjust. There's these high and low screws, and I'll need to play with them so that it doesn't push the derailleur all the way back where the chain can fall off. But other than that, the bike was pretty much ready to ride out of the box. It's not as big as a full-inch bike, which is nice. It's also foldable, so you can transport it around. It is 61 pounds though, so it does feel quite heavy, but because there's this handle right here, it does make carrying it a little easier. You can also like carry it and keep one wheel on the ground so it doesn't feel as heavy. It has 20-inch by 4-inch wheels, so the tires are pretty fat and it makes the ride very comfortable. There's also a rear rack in the back, so you can put some stuff back here. You can put a box, a bag, or I don't know if they advise it, but I guess you could have another passenger back there. And then the whole thing is just pretty portable. You can fold this in half, fold this down, and you're ready to go. And everything just works out of the box. There's 3 pedal assist levels, there is a headlight, and there is not a tail light. I don't have anything bad to say about it, but if I were to offer some suggestions, I would add a tail light in the back, so when you press on these brake levers, there'd be something in the back that notifies people that you're slowing down or stopping. And then the max speed that I've done so far is 13.8 miles per hour, and I think the listing said that it goes up to 19 or 20 miles per hour. I read on an Amazon comment that if you open the controller, there is a plug that you can connect, and then you'll get that top speed. I'll try that out after my review, and I'll post my findings after this. There's 4 screws that held this cover. I took it off, and then inside there was this controller. And looking at all these plugs, I only saw one that was disconnected, and that's the one right here, but I don't see anywhere that I could plug it into. I tried disconnecting each one of these to see if the top speed increased, and it did not. So I don't know where this needs to go to. If you have this bike and was able to unlock the top speed, let me know, and then I'll post it in the description section below on how to increase the top speed. But so far it looks like it's a black cable just tees off of the one over here, and I don't know what it plugs into. In case you're interested, this is the model number of the controller, and I'm going to put this back in. On their website right now it's listed for $7.99, but it's on sale for $5.99. For $5.99 you're getting a pretty good deal on an e-bike. It's the 350 watts, and if you're able to get 19 miles per hour, that'd be even better. If you're on the market for a folding e-bike with fat tires, I wouldn't hesitate to recommend that you check this one out. You can find it on the Onebot website or on Amazon, and I'll post a link for those products in the description section below. Please like this video if you found it helpful. Please leave a question or comment in the comment section below, and if you want to see more videos like this, please subscribe to my channel. So thank you guys for watching, and take care. I took the cover off